everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Madison. I am a first year second grade teacher. I hope you stick around. And if you're not new here, welcome back. I am super excited about today's video because I am finally going to be filming a very highly requested video all about how I plan for the school week. So this is going to be a how I plan video. Before we start, I just want to thank Microsoft Education for partnering with me on this video. I am so excited to be partnering with Microsoft Education as I am a huge fan of all Microsoft products. I use them daily in my personal life and in my work life. As you guys will see in this video, I use a lot of different Microsoft Education products and programs to help me plan for the school week. Microsoft just launched their Teach It Forward campaign with the help of their Microsoft Education Training Center, where they have a ton of different programs and training videos, as well as professional development opportunities for educators to get the most out of their products. I am so excited. I have personally been spending a lot of time doing my own training and professional development with all of their products and programs. I'm so excited for you guys to get the opportunity to do it as well. I will leave the link down below for the Microsoft Education Center if you guys would like to check that out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into this video. So I have my laptop out in front of me. I use my school laptop to plan every single weekend. Now, I get asked a lot when I plan. It changes a lot depending on how the week is structured. Typically, I would love to plan on Sundays for the week ahead. We've been having 4-day weeks, however, this entire school year with everything that's been going on. We've had Wednesdays off. So that has been really nice because I have had Wednesdays to plan because I'm just home on Wednesdays. So it just depends. Today is Wednesday, so I decided I would go ahead and plan for the rest of this week and the beginning of next week. That's kind of how I've been doing it, and then doing the same thing next Wednesday. So I will just take you guys along with me as I go through all of the Microsoft Education programs that I have been loving and using to help me plan. I love PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, and I really want to introduce you guys to something new called Flipgrid. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before. Comment down below if you've already used it and what you think of it. If you haven't heard of Flipgrid, this is going to be a really exciting opportunity for you guys to learn about it, and I'm going to dive into that completely in just a minute. So let's go ahead and get started. Before I dive into how I plan for the week, I first wanted to start off by talking a bit more about the Microsoft Education Center and their Teach It Forward campaign. Educators have come together like never before to support each other through the ever-evolving challenges of remote, hybrid, and COVID-safe teaching this year. In addition to providing support and guidance for students at this difficult time, teachers have also found a way to support one another with tips and tricks and general moral support. That's what this whole Teach It Forward campaign is all about. Microsoft Education is encouraging all educators to share our stories, encouragement, and Microsoft Education tips and tricks to encourage other educators and other aspiring teachers. This campaign personally hits so close to home for me as a first-year teacher during a pandemic because I have witnessed firsthand the struggles of being a teacher, and I just want to offer the same support that I have received this year from companies like Microsoft to other new teachers as well. As you see here, the Microsoft Education Center is a great place for all educators to receive free training and professional development. I personally have taken courses over hybrid learning models, Microsoft Teams, Office 365 and Windows, and I have already learned so much, and I'm just so excited to share this super cool opportunity with other educators out there. All right, let's go ahead and get into how I plan for the week using Microsoft PowerPoint. So I have talked about this before over on Instagram, but I use Microsoft PowerPoint to plan for every single subject area throughout the day. So I'm just going to go ahead and take you throughout my slides for the week. As you see, I have a lot of slides, and to me, this helps keep me completely organized. Now, some of you might be a pen to paper type of girl or guy, and that's totally okay. Personally, I have tried the pen to paper planning, and it just doesn't work for me as well as having PowerPoint to keep me on track for the week. So I'll go ahead and just take you through my slides, and just remember that everybody plans differently, and if this doesn't work for you, that's okay. But if so, hopefully you can get some good ideas from it. So this is my morning slide, and I originally had one of these slides whenever we were virtual, and I realized this is actually always great to have as well whenever you're in person. So I have this morning slide up on our smartboard for everyone to see at the very beginning of the day. It says our to-do list for them to unpack, eat breakfast, grab morning work from tray, what voice level they should be at. It has our dates, what special we are going to be going to that day, and then we always have a motivational quote of the week. So I have this there every morning, and going down my slides on the left, I have these in order of what we do throughout the day. So the next thing we do is we watch our morning announcements, and we say our pride promises, which are just some call and responses our entire school has. So I have this next up, and I have our morning announcements just linked to this text box right here. It's just hyperlinked, so I can just click on that and it will take me right to the video. Then the next thing we do is math. We do math at the beginning of every day. So what I have over here is slides for every day of the week. So Monday, Tuesday, and I have them labeled Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I just have that one labeled. And so what I do is every day is set up the same. I have our objective or our learning goal. I have whatever unit we're on in the top right corner. Then I have our warm-up. So I have these slides displayed on our smartboard for everyone to see, and it's just so helpful with keeping me on track. I don't have to open up a textbook or look at my written lesson plans. All I have to do is click to the next slide, and it just really helps me stay on track. So we do a warm-up every single day. So I get asked a lot what type of curriculum we used. So we do use everyday math for a curriculum. And what I do is I just take the information from the textbook and I put it in my own slides. So I make it a little bit more kid-friendly, a little bit more visual, and just a little bit cuter. So I make my own slides with the information that's in our everyday math book curriculum. So we usually have that, some type of other visual, a brain video. Usually I hyperlink the video onto the slides, but every now and then it says error, so I just copy and paste the link. So typically we have some type of video that we'll watch that will coincide with what we are learning that day. And then the last slide is our must-do and can-dos of the day. So typically they have a math journal page to do every day after our whole group learning, and then they have a can-do, which is ST Math. And so this is the slide that I display for them to see at the end of our lesson. And this goes on for every day of the week. As you see, we have our objective, our math warm-up, some type of visual over what we're learning, some type of brain videos, and then our must-dos for the day. And so this is so nice for me. All it takes is maybe an hour to get all of my math slides warmed up, and then I am all set for the following week. So Monday morning, I'll come in, check over my slides to kind of refresh my brain over what we're learning that day, and then I'm good to go. So that is what I have for math. As you see here, Thursday, videos, our must-dos, and math day, or on Fridays, it's our flex days. So we're not teaching any curriculum, so we're doing some type of practice or review or small groups. So this Friday, I had them doing some task cards around the room over measuring. Now, going on to reading, I do it the exact same way, just I use less slides. So our reading curriculum that we use is called Benchmark, and I am not a huge fan of the curriculum, if I'm being honest. I think it's a pretty advanced, especially for second grade, and especially because my students missed out on half of their first grade year due to COVID, so they just came in really behind. So the already advanced material in Benchmark is just too far advanced for my class, so sometimes you just have to do what's best for your class. And so with mine, I like to take a lot of the text information in the curriculum and create activities that are a lot more kid-friendly. So I like to find ways that can engage the kids, and oftentimes that is through videos. So this particular week, we were learning about adjectives. So what I ended up doing was I found some videos that were kid-friendly and taught them about adjectives. So I've found that, especially with my class, they are bound to pay way more attention if there is a video that is kind of like fun and kid-friendly, and they're, more likely to remember the information. So I always play some videos for them, and if you can't tell already, I love task cards. I think they're just so fun, and I think that kids really get engaged and learn the material so much better when they can get up, walk around, and participate and work with a partner. So this particular day, I had them walk around the room and do some task cards over adjectives and identifying adjectives. So that's pretty much it for my entire reading slides. I do the same thing every day. So I take the information that we're learning. This day we were learning about sequencing stories. I found some fun videos, informational videos, and then we watched or read the story, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and they had to sequence it themselves, and I handed out a worksheet for that. Now, scrolling down to the bottom, I have our writing. So, for example, this particular day, we were learning about quotation marks, and I planned this a very similar way as I do with reading. I found a couple informational videos all about quotation marks, how to write with speech marks, and then we did a whole group activity where we practiced marking quotation marks up on the screen together, and then they got their own sheet and they did it independently. Now down here at the bottom on the left, you can see that I have some extra slides. So I use these slides. This one I use for independent reading time. We have our daily 4. So they have 4 things they can choose from: either read to self, read to someone, work on writing, or listen to reading. So this is just a nice visual to display up on the board if they need it. Here I have an agenda slide, so I like to keep this, and I change it up often. So at the end of every day, sometimes we have things that we need to get done, and so I like to make a list so that I don't forget, and I'll display it up on the board so that we can just go through our agenda. And at the bottom here, we have a reading tracker slide. So I just make all these slides myself, and I just keep them on our slides over here so that I can refer to them whenever I need them. So this slide I use whenever we are practicing our reading stamina, so when the kids are practicing their independent reading time. Now, whenever I go to teach social studies, this one I don't have on my own PowerPoint slideshow because over on Schoology, they have the slides already made for me, which is really nice. So some of you may be familiar with Schoology. This is just an academic tool or site that I think a lot of people have been using this year for virtual learning especially. However, my district has kept all of our curriculum on here throughout the entire year, even as we went in person. So we have a page that has all of our district curriculum, which is really nice. So all I have to do for social studies is click K through 5, find our 2nd grade curriculum, and the lessons are already all mapped out. So we're on Unit 2, and we're on Lesson 6. And that is it, guys. So these are the slides that I use to plan. And what I do throughout the week is if I find activities that we're going to be doing in the class, for example, our task cards, or if they have a worksheet that they're going to do, I will keep those tabs up on my computer on Sunday. And when I come in on Monday, all I have to do is click through the tabs and print them on our school computer, then bring them in, and I file them in my Monday through Friday drawers on our 10-drawer cart. So I have found this works really well for me with using Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, I also wanted to talk about how I use Microsoft Word. So I often like to use Microsoft Word to create my own activities for the classroom. So this was an activity I shared over on my Instagram. We were learning all about inferencing and main idea. And so I took an idea that I saw off of TPT, and instead of paying money for it, I decided I can just make this myself over on Microsoft Word. It's super simple to use. I've downloaded all of my own fonts, and this maybe took me 10 minutes. So what I did, if you saw my Instagram post, if not, I will have a picture of it right here. I decided to come up with a central theme or main idea, and that was dog-related items. So I had 4 mystery bags, mystery bag 1, 2, 3, and 4, and brown bags, and I put in 4 items. I put in a dog leash, a collar, a dog shampoo, a dog toy, and in one of the bags, I had something that didn't belong. So I put a stapler in one of the bags. One at a time, each student would come up and look inside the bag, and they would record what items they saw, and they would have to figure out what item didn't belong and how they know it didn't belong, therefore finding out what the main idea of the bags were. So I decided to come on here, easily make my labels for the bag, and I even made my own worksheet. Like I said, this took less than 10 minutes. If you guys haven't tried out making your own activities on Microsoft Word, I highly recommend. It's very simple to do. Now let's go ahead and learn a little bit about Flipgrid. I have been using Flipgrid this year and I have been loving it so much, so I figured this video was the perfect time to mention it and tell you all about Flipgrid. Flipgrid is a website that allows teachers to create grids to facilitate video discussions, and each grid is like a message board that lets you propose questions called topics, and the students can post responses that the other students in the class can see. As you see here, I set up a classroom so you can see what it looks like to have your own page. You can either come up with your own discussions and topics, or you can click Discovery at the top, and it will lead you through hundreds of different topics to look through. So this was Women's History Month, so I wanted to find a topic that was relevant to my own grade level. And as you see, they have topics for every single grade level. So all I had to do was click Add Topic, and it will instantly show up on my homepage for my students to see and respond to. I've loved using this for engagement in my classrooms, especially in our virtual learning days. If you're still virtual learning, I highly suggest Flipgrid, but even if you're in person, definitely try this out to promote some more engagement in your classroom. I hope that gave you a little bit of insight onto how I typically plan for the week. Now, whenever it comes to preparing for in-person learning, obviously there comes a lot of preparation for that as well. So I thought I would kind of give you a brief explanation of how I go about planning for that. When I go to school, do I go early? Do I stay late? So when I first started teaching, I would often stay very late, maybe an hour, 2 hours late. And I decided that is just not right for me, because when school's over, I want to get home, check out. That way I can have some time to decompress and relax the rest of the day in order to be a better teacher the following day. So what I've been doing lately is getting to school maybe 20-25 minutes early on the day after that I do my planning. So the planning that I just showed you, I may have some supplemental work or worksheets that go along with it. For example, that plot diagram worksheet, I needed to print that out and have that ready to go. So what I do is I go to school, like I said, maybe 25 minutes early, and I go through all of my slides and I go through and click along anything that I need to print out. So typically I will have a link to that plot diagram worksheet, or I will already have it up in a separate tab. However I typically want to do it that day, I will go through and print out 18 copies, one for each kid and an extra, and I will go to our copy room and organize those by day. So I have this 15 drawer rolling cart that I highly recommend you getting if you're looking to just be more organized in the classroom. I received this 15 drawer rolling cart before my first year teaching, and it has been a game changer. I really don't think I could live without it. This helps me keep all of my papers and copies organized for the week. As you see, I have them organized here Monday through Friday, and I have some extra drawers at the bottom if I plan ahead for the following week. And over on the right, I have extra copies, miscellaneous copies, copies to file, sub plans, all of that. So I never just have papers lying around. I always have a purpose and a place for all of my papers, and this helps so much with my sanity, and it just helps me stay really organized in the classroom. So my advice is to not take it all on at once. Now, if you can't plan for 4 or 5 days in a row, that's okay. When I first started teaching, I would plan for the next day, just one day at a time, and that is very time consuming, but that's okay. If that is what you need to do to get by and make it feel like you understand what you're doing and what you're teaching in order to be a good teacher, that's okay. I recommend doing that, going at your own pace. Over time, you're going to get a lot better at prioritizing your time and planning a little bit quicker, a little bit more efficiently, and you just get a little bit better at it, and I promise it will become a really natural thing for you. Now, everybody plans differently. Everybody I know, honestly, plans a little bit differently than I do, and that's okay. I'm not saying this is the end all be all way to plan. This is just how I do it. I often get asked how I plan, and I wanted to show you guys exactly how I do it, and it changes all the time. I'm sure next year I might plan a completely different way, and that's okay. It's always a lot of trial and error and figuring out what works for you as a teacher, and if that does change, I will definitely share with you guys what I end up changing it over to. But for now, this is what works for me. This is the quickest, most efficient way I have found to plan for the week, and I hope you guys found some helpful tips from it. Once again, I want to thank Microsoft Education for partnering with me on this video. Don't forget to check out the Microsoft Education training videos. I will have them linked down below. You can learn so much from them, not only about Microsoft PowerPoint and Microsoft Word and Flipgrid, but so many others. I have learned so much, and it's helped me so much for hybrid teaching, virtual teaching, and in-person teaching. Definitely recommend trying those out and checking out Microsoft Education down below. Also, check out my Instagram. I will link it right here. Along with the Teach It Forward campaign with Microsoft Education, they're encouraging teachers to tell their story. So I decided it would be fun to, over on Instagram, tell you guys more about my story, and I encourage you guys to do the same. Comment down below any type of Microsoft Education products you have used or tried out, and I encourage any other new teachers or first-year teachers to read those comments and try them out for yourself if you think that it would work for you in your classroom. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.